All right, welcome back. My name is Rabiu Solomon. In continuation of the video I threw on YouTube some weeks ago about maintaining a good flow on the piano and how to communicate with your fingers. And today I want to give you something you've never seen before. Yes, please watch this video to the end. And if you find value, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click like. Yeah, today I have this illustration I want to show to you. If you're not, don't worry, I have other examples. If you can understand what this means, this is the formula for water. Yeah. You can draw it this way, the molecular representation. You can do it this way. Yes, this is hydrogen, and this is oxygen. Now, what I want to talk about today is the connectivity. Look at this. There's always a connecting point. And just like Albert Einstein's rule about the law of relativity, I can't even pronounce his name. Yes, there is always relativity between everything we could see. Now, look at this. There's something called maintain also. Yeah, look at this. CH4. Yeah. One way to represent that is this way, C, then this way. H, and H. Yeah. 4 of this. Now, this is my emphasis. There is always a connecting point. Now, if you don't understand any of this, don't worry. Now, this example, look at this. Look at this. If you have a chain, if you've seen a chain before, maybe the one used to chain a dog or, yes, your pet. Now, if you can see, it has something like as if they are into each other. Yes. This is very important. If these circles are separated, they cannot hold anything because they are separate. Now, if these are on their own, they can't become this. It is because of their combination that we have maintained. Now, if you don't understand this, don't worry. Yes, let's get back to the piano. Just in case you don't understand any of what I've been sharing, look at this. We have basic chords, and this, if I'm on the key of C, those are notes individually. And if you have basic theory on piano playing, you know that what makes a chord what it is, or why we call it the chord, is because some notes came together, a combination of notes. So that's why we call it chords. When we play them together, it's called a chord. Now, those, like the example I gave, the individual circle cannot hold anything, cannot be called a chain. But once the circle are into each other, then we can call it a chain, and we can now use it for its purpose to hold something. Now, for your chords to hold your listeners, for your chord to hold the audience, to grip the attention of the audience, we must follow that similitude. Something like you must be able to. We will try to make an attempt to simulate that, what I just represented on paper. For an example, what this means is to find the relative note between the chord changes. This may just be a short progression you're trying to play. Now, this works. But what is another way I can play this? By not changing everything, because you can see everything is changing. Everything is changing, but yet if we pay attention to our notes, we'll discover some relativity. For an example, from the 6 to the 4, this note is repeated. These notes. So it's like there's a hook while there's a change. There's a hook or a pedal point, or what do we call it? You can't walk with your 2 foot on the air. one of your foot have to be on the ground, your left to be on the ground for your right to take the forward movement. So that is how we should approach our chords also. When we play something like this, it kind of work. Yeah, there's some music genres that require that kind of piano play. But because of what we want to discuss today, which is maintaining flow, gripping the attention of your audience, you want to find the relative notes between your chord changes. I learned this from a YouTuber. His name is Corey Taylor. He spoke about 14 mistakes. Was it 14 or 15? Thereabout mistakes beginners make. Beginners pianists, yeah. Or this is just this is the difference between the beginner and a professional. Let me put it the way he puts it, that the professional uses the shortest distance. The beginner and the professional, every one of us have to make changes. Changes is what makes music, progression. We have to move from a chord to another. But the professional moves seamlessly. In other words, he finds a hook line and move. So he keeps your attention and still make his change. Instead of just making change and probably losing your attention, because music want to flow like water. You don't want to water flows. Some components are left here, it keeps flowing. It drops some components of itself as it flows. So same with music. As you make your chord changes, you have to keep something on the background to I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Just like a base, like the foundation. Yes. So how can we play that? You see, I can play it this way. But there are many notes to think about, many changes. But if I want to give you a hook line, something to keep you thinking or dreaming about, I'll just play. You can see. Now, this has to do with also your choice of voicing and your chords. That's why I'm not really talking about the chord today or showing you what I'm playing, because we all have different preferences. Some chords you like to play like this same progression. Somebody else may like to play it some kind of way, and depending on your mood, many things. But this is just one of the underlying factors that I want to discuss today. That try to first have a basic understanding of your chords. What are you playing? What are your destination? Your passing chords, everything you want. Try to have a basic understanding. Then can you connect the dots. You have to know your majors and your minors. You have to know your individual chords. Then you can find a way to connect them to create a hook while you keep making your changes. So just a simple progression can just change the game for you. Like you can use this when somebody's talking or doing testimonies in your church or time for announcement. You can just, instead of, that's not a point where you need an attention on yourself. You just want to keep something on the background. Like the movies we watch, the movie scores are not there to shine out more than the movie. No, the reason for the score is the movie. So you want to just be there and it feels as though you're not there. Something like that. So you want to play, make your changes with use the shortest distance possible, and keep some notes. Don't change everything. Keep some notes while you make changes. Yes. It's like saying don't throw away what you know because of what you found newly. Yes. I used to make that mistake as a pianist, because you learn a new chord, it's as though all the chords you've known before are just just for total beginners. No, everything connects together. One day you're going to the triads, the time you need the 11th and the 13th. Anything Everything is needed. All you've known, all you have is what is needed. There's nothing new. Because it's new doesn't make it so important. So this is what I was playing during the rehearsals last week, and this is the motivation of this video. Let me share this with you. So I was during the rehearsals and prayers was made, and I just began to play this line. So I'm changing my progression on my left, but something remains the same on my right. So I'm creating like a hook, a connecting point, while there's a change. There's always going to be a change. Something will always change. Something will always keep changing in our life. But make sure you have a base, a foundation, something that keeps going, something that all the changes comes to bounce on. So you can transfer that also on your piano play when you're playing, especially like during the kinds of situation I've described. Maybe there's an announcement and there's a testimony, or during the message, during the preaching. You don't want to be heard as the pianist. You don't want to shine out. That's not the time for the piano player to shine out. We just need a background. So you can pull up your strings and just so I'm trying to pull up a string I like. And this is going to help. It's going to help the preacher communicate his message, because you are not distracting him. Now, some people make the mistake of playing a song while the preacher or the testimony is going on. Whosoever is sitting down and listening will try to follow your song. That means you're stealing the show. You're stealing their attention from what is going on. And that is just about placement and priority. If you know that that's not the time for the piano player to shine, there's some time where the piano player will shine, maybe during the worship, or you're giving the time to solo. There's just a time for everything. So when the message is going on or someone is talking, you don't want to shine out. You don't want to be the person everyone should be looking at, or you don't want to give the audience that kind of feel. What chord was that? You don't want to, or you don't want to let people begin to sing when the message is going on, or they're trying to teach scripture. So you also want to listen. Yes, this is a very important part. You also want to listen. So that is why you need to just find something that will help everyone, including yourself. So you'll not be lost in trying to play your piano, and that's just all about who you are. You want to also be connected in the service and in everything that's going on. I'm telling you, when I find this, I just found rest. After rehearsing, knowing your notes, knowing your chords, when and how to play them, and this is just something to add on, to go with the flow, and to also live as a human being, not imposing your chord, your newest chord on people or in situations during the service. So you just go. Thank you very much.